The Honourable David Cunliffe.
3 short minutes to take apart what that member thinks is economic policy. Jamie Lee Martinga Soprano Ross, Mr Speaker, who complains that New Zealand's worse than Greece and Spain. By next year we're going to have a worse current account deficit than Greece on National's watch. National, the party that has never run a surplus in 15 years, and Labor that has never run a fiscal deficit. Absolutely. Who do you trust? Labor that's never run a deficit, or National that cannot run a surplus? They say we're the anti-growth party. Take 30 years of data. It shows New Zealand economic growth rates higher under Labor than under National, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, this is the wind-up of the supplementary estimates debate. I want to say 2 things about revenue. The first, sir, is that it's great to have a body as august as the OECD validate Labor's tax policies, because they, in their survey of New Zealand, sir, have said 2 hugely important things. The first is, New Zealand needs a capital gains tax. Absolutely. We are one of only 3 countries in the developed world that doesn't have one, and not having one makes our property roller coaster worse. But those cynical National Party people are banking that their political success is all about the propertied middle class not getting too worried before the election. Let's hope that their balloon is burst, Mr Speaker. And the OECD warned us that the New Zealand tax system is contributing to one of the worst levels of inequality in the Western world. And that, sir, is the fault of this government, who gave huge tax breaks to the rich and put up GST on everybody else. And the top 10% got 40% of the winnings, and the poor paid more tax. And that is wrong. That's like Robin Hood in reverse, Mr Speaker. I've only got a minute left. I just want to point to a couple of icebergs that are coming right at the revenue portfolio Titanic that the august Todd McClay, the glossy chap down the back, has just picked up. And the first one is the billion-dollar bungle that's about to happen. The billion-dollar rebuild of the IRD computer that is going to make NovoPay look like a walk in the park. The word is they've already got Stephen Joyce to do that bit of Todd McClay's portfolio, because they can see that it's a disaster waiting to happen. The second one is their sweet deals for their mates like MediaWorks, who, under the Alesco case, I understand, I am advised, agreed that they would pay a $22 million tax debt, but under their restructuring, they've somehow forgotten. Except that the Prime Minister thinks that that's okay because they are powerful. Well, Mr Speaker, that is the sort of behaviour that undermines the integrity of the New Zealand tax system. Then I expect the Minister of Revenue to take a call and tell us in the very next call why that is wrong. And if he's got any integrity, he'll stare down his boss and say that he will not intervene in the MediaWorks tax dispute. Oh, he's saying he won't. That's good. Tell it to John Key. You might be the shortest-lived minister in the history of the government, because he's just said a wet bus ticket will be just fine. The other iceberg coming down the track is the tax finance interface, because the OECD said 3 things really clearly. They've said get a strong savings rate because you've got a savings deficit and it's growing. Make superannuation sustainable and have a realistic exchange rate so you can grow manufacturing. All of that's in Labor's policy. Labor is the better economic manager. History proves it. Don't believe the spin from the intoxicated National Party, Mr Speaker. Labor is the party of growth, jobs and fairness. Long may it be.
Sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time for this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. We'll have a party. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
33 votes opposed.
Green Party. 10 votes opposed. New Zealand First.
7 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Mana. 1 opposed. Act New Zealand.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Peter Dunn.
1 vote in favour.
Brendan Horan.
1 opposed.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 63, the noes are 52. The motion is agreed to.
Appropriation 2012-13 Supplementary Estimates Bill, second reading. Imprest Supply, first for 2013-14 Bill, second reading.
The bills are set down for third reading forthwith. The Honourable Todd McLeay.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Appropriation 2012-13 Supplementary Estimates Bill be now read a third time.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye.